the soldiers.
Hey guys, welcome back to Anime Sensei Reaction. Last episode, we saw Mao Mao secretly solve the mystery behind the Emperor's sick children inside the rear palace. While everyone feared curses and bad luck, Mao Mao figured out that the real cause was the toxic face powder used by the concubines. Her warning helped Lady Gyokuyu protect her baby, and that immediately caught the attention of Jinshi, who clearly realized Mao Mao is way smarter than an ordinary servant girl. By the end of the episode, Jinshi personally brought Mao Mao into Gyokuyu's service, which means she's now much closer to the dangerous politics inside the palace. In today's episode, I'm expecting Mao Mao to become involved in even more strange incidents around the rear palace, especially now that Jinshi seems extremely interested in her abilities. I'm also curious whether Lady Liwa's situation will continue getting worse after losing her child. Let's see what Mystery Episode 2 brings.
Poison.
The food was cooked by the villagers. Their leader has been placed into custody on suspicion of aiding the barbarians. What now?
Let me think. You'll have your answer soon.
Thank you. Also, concubine Gyokyo. Word is she has a new lady in waiting.
Yes. She has only 4 women serving her. Despite their similar rank, concubine Li Hua has over 10 by her side. It hurts her dignity as a high-ranking concubine.
True, but she has other strengths. Not only is she warm and gentle, her intelligence and discernment serve her well.
She would never employ anyone without knowing everything about their history. When one is made an emperor's concubine, survival is based on a single rule: be wary of everyone.
So, who is this new lady in waiting?
Gao Xuan. I think I've found the ideal pawn.
Oh?
Do you remember that freckled servant girl? Her knowledge of medicine would be wasted washing laundry.
Yes, perhaps. But if she were ever to abuse that power...
I will make sure it never comes to that. It won't be too difficult. But just in case, I suppose I should seduce her a little.
What an honor getting to serve a high-ranking concubine.
Yeah, living the dream.
Oh, it's you. Are you ready to move, apothecary?
Yes, I'm on my way to the Jade Pavilion soon, unless you needed to ask me something first.
No, nothing at all.
Huh? Why is he here then? Just bored?
I'm positive that you'll...
The uneasy atmosphere inside the rear palace began to shift the moment a troubling report reached Jinshi's chambers. Early that morning, Gao Xuan stepped forward with the calm discipline expected of him. Yet there was tension hidden beneath his expression. A unit of soldiers sent on a distant campaign had suddenly fallen ill during their travels. The symptoms had appeared quickly and spread through several men at once. Violent nausea, difficulty breathing, weakness that overtook the body without warning, it all pointed toward food poisoning. Because the meals had been provided by a nearby village, suspicion immediately fell upon the village chief responsible for preparing provisions for the troops. The man had already been detained, and whispers of conspiracy were beginning to circulate among the officers. Jinshi listened without interruption, his elegant posture never wavering as Gao Xuan continued. Yet before the matter could fully settle, another topic emerged. Gao Xuan explained that the imbalance among the high-ranking consort's attendants had become impossible to ignore. Although Gyokuyu consort stood on equal footing with Lihua consort in status, the difference in their personal staff was embarrassingly obvious. Lihua possessed a small army of attendants, more than 10 maids constantly at her side, while Gyokuyu managed her pavilion with only 4 women struggling to keep everything running smoothly. To correct this, Gao Xuan had already arranged for an additional maid to be assigned to the Jade Pavilion. However, this was no ordinary servant. The girl possessed knowledge of herbs, medicines, and more importantly, poisons. In a palace where jealousy hid behind silk sleeves and smiling faces, such skills could either become a shield or a weapon. Gao Xuan admitted his concern openly. Someone capable of detecting poison would naturally understand how to use it as well. But Jinshi seemed almost amused by the worry. His expression remained smooth and unconcerned as he responded that danger could be managed with proper oversight. Deep inside, there was another thought he never voiced directly. Few people in the palace could resist his influence for long.
Serve concubine Gyokyo well.
Please excuse me.
Best of luck, Mao Mao!
So gross.
I take it you're Mao Mao?
Yes.
I am Hong Young, the head lady in waiting. It's good to meet you. Since you're new, I'll show you around the pavilion. This way.
Yes. Welcome to the Jade Pavilion. I've been waiting for you, Momo. And Xiaoling's happy to see you too. We're pleased to have you around. Thank you for the kind words.
This room is the parlor. When we have guests, this is where we bring them.
How many guests?
This is the kitchen. You should be able to do simple cooking here.
Wow.
This is the living room. More importantly, these are the other ladies in waiting. Gather for introductions.
Yes.
I'm Yinghua. Nice to meet you. If there's anything you want to know, ask me.
Name's Guiyan. Welcome to the Jade Pavilion. You'll love it here.
And you may call me Ailan. We're all so pleased to make your acquaintance.
I'm Mao Mao. It's a pleasure.
We're quite exclusive, meaning we don't hire serving girls. All the tasks performed at the Jade Pavilion are done by us.
It is the least we can do for Lady Gyokyo. We need to ensure her life is comfortable.
Then I'll assist with the...
You should go to your room and rest up.
Huh?
No need to exert yourself the first day.
Besides, you have a special task coming up.
That's the first time I'm hearing about it.
Come along, I'll show you to your room.
Sure.
So, I'm not the only one who noticed, right? She's hiding them with those bandages, but there are scars on her arms. I'll bet anything she was abused by her parents back home.
If necessary, charm alone could keep the situation under control. The next day, Jinshi sought out the girl personally. Mao Mao greeted him with the same detached attitude she always carried, completely unmoved by the overwhelming beauty that left nearly everyone else breathless. Jinshi approached her with effortless grace, his voice soft, his expression gentle enough to melt the resolve of even hardened officials. He casually asked whether she had finished preparing for her transfer to the Jade Pavilion. Most women would have blushed under such attention. Mao Mao looked as though she wanted to escape. Rather than admiration, visible discomfort spread across her face, almost as if his charm worked in reverse whenever directed at her. Jinshi found himself strangely entertained by the reaction, though he concealed it behind his usual smile. Soon afterward, Mao Mao packed her few belongings and headed toward the Jade Pavilion to begin her new life. The residence felt warmer than the other sections of the inner court. Despite its elegance, there was a lived-in feeling to the place, as though the people there still possessed traces of ordinary humanity untouched by the palace's colder politics. She was greeted immediately by Hongyang, Gyokuyu's sharp-eyed headmaid. Hongyang wasted little time leading Mao Mao through the pavilion, explaining the layout, the routines, and the responsibilities expected of everyone living there. The other three maids were introduced soon after, Gaiyuan, Yinghua, and Ailan. Because they lacked manpower compared to the other consorts, the women had learned to share every duty equally. Cooking, cleaning, preparing clothing, maintaining the chambers. Each task rotated constantly among them to prevent exhaustion. Mao Mao, eager to avoid standing idle, attempted to help immediately. Yet the moment she moved toward any task, the other maids stopped her almost forcefully. They insisted she rest first and settle into her room before doing anything else. At first, Mao Mao found the behavior odd. Then she noticed the looks they kept giving her. Their eyes lingered on the bandages wrapped around her arm, the scars and wounds she had
And later sold off to the rear palace.
To top it all off, she's been assigned the worst job imaginable.
Why should that poor sweet girl have to suffer such a cruel fate?
Right. You are to wait here until you are summoned, alright?
This promotion comes with some benefits, at least.
The Jade Pavilion's always been run by a select elite, so of course a newcomer wouldn't be totally welcome. They all looked so sympathetic. Ready to cry. Why is that?
Ready for your new role? Your job is Poison Taster.
Poison? I must be dreaming! Don't show your hand, Mau Mau!
The concubine has all her meals prepared for her. By the time it reaches the pavilion, it's already exchanged hands a few times. During that lengthy process, poison is a risk that must be considered. In fact, when concubine Gyokyo became pregnant, her food was poisoned at least twice. The taster back then received nerve damage and still can't move her hands or feet, the cost of the job.
Now I get it. That's the reason the others were acting so sympathetic. Here you are. Proceed. Huh? They use ceramic bowls? No suspicious coloring. Or scents. No numbness. This meal's free of poison and safe to eat. Back when I lived near the brothels, I used to do a lot of experiments using my arm as a test subject.
That's my little mad scientist.
I've gradually built up an immunity against poisons, so most of them don't affect me. As a traditional taster, I'm not the best candidate. But no complaints here if it means...
Never bothered to explain. Unknown to her, the maids had created an entirely different story in their minds. They assumed she had been abused before being sold into palace service. In their imagination, this quiet girl with strange knowledge and hidden injuries had endured a tragic childhood filled with cruelty. The more they imagined it, the more pitiful she appeared. By the time Mau Mau retreated to her room alone, the three women were practically grieving for her fictional past in silence. Sitting quietly in her new chamber, Mau Mau reflected on the strange sympathy she kept sensing from them. She couldn't understand why they stared at her like wounded puppies. Still, the mystery faded once she finally learned the true reason she had been brought to the Jade Pavilion. She was to become Gyokuyu Consort's food taster. The atmosphere around the dining area shifted heavily the moment the duty was explained. The other maids looked visibly uneasy, but Mau Mau reacted completely differently. Instead of fear, her eyes sharpened with interest as dish after dish was arranged before her. Jinshi explained the situation carefully. Before any meal reached Gyokuyu, it passed through countless hands. Servants, cooks, carriers, attendants, every step created an opportunity for tampering. During Gyokuyu's pregnancy, there had already been 2 poisoning attempts. In one case, the previous food taster had suffered horrifying consequences. The poison had damaged the victim so severely that parts of their body no longer moved properly afterward. Now Mau Mau finally understood why the others pitied her. To everyone else, this assignment resembled a death sentence disguised as employment. Yet Mau Mau simply examined the food calmly. She observed the color, studied the texture, inhaled the scent rising from the dishes. Nothing unusual stood out. No bitterness, no suspicious odor, no tingling sensation when sampled. After tasting several bites, she announced without hesitation that the meal was safe. Then she revealed something that stunned everyone present. Back when she still lived at home, she had
Getting to eat like this all the time?
Why is she laughing?
If you want my opinion, you should switch to silver plates. They react when making contact with toxins.
It's like Master Jinshi said. We use ceramics on purpose. As a sort of test for you.
Huh?
That was all his idea?
That means your knowledge applies to both poisons and medicines.
At one time, I worked as an apothecary.
If you had spoken up earlier and told someone you were literate, you would have received higher wages.
I was kidnapped and brought here against my will, and taking into account that part of my earnings gets sent back to the people who stole me, I wasn't exactly eager to.
Basically, you would rather take less pay if it means not supplying the scoundrels who took you with extra drinking money?
Huh?
How unfortunate. That was an expensive vase. You couldn't afford it with your lady-in-waiting salary. There won't be any money to send to your family. As a matter of fact, we might need to charge them instead.
Oh, my apologies for being so clumsy. Please take it out of the money to my family. If that's not enough, use my savings too.
Fine. I'll arrange the paperwork. By the way, this is your separate hazard pay as a poison taster.
It's almost equal to my regular salary. And best of all, my kidnappers don't get a cut of this. Everything goes to me. Thank you for your generosity. Well, she certainly knows how to motivate her workers.
Thanks, but I've got a handout. You need more rest. We're fully staffed on domestic chores.
Cause of death utter boredom! Tasters have a pretty easy schedule. I'm called every day for 2 meals and tea time.
Experimented on herself using various poisons little by little. Through reckless curiosity and repeated exposure, her body had gradually developed resistance to many common toxins. In truth, she admitted the role of food taster was almost wasted on her abilities. Ironically, though, she enjoyed the assignment because it guaranteed access to delicious meals she would otherwise never experience. The room fell silent. The casual way she described poisoning herself made everyone visibly uncomfortable except Jinshi, who looked more intrigued than alarmed. Mao Mao then suggested introducing silver utensils during meals. Certain toxins caused silver to discolor, creating an extra layer of protection. Hongyang admitted they had intentionally avoided using silver because Jinshi wanted to evaluate Mao Mao's actual skill first. That revelation irritated her slightly. Hongyang soon changed the subject and remarked that if Mao Mao had revealed her literacy earlier, she could have negotiated a higher wage within the palace. But Mao Mao immediately dismissed the idea. She had no desire for the people responsible for kidnapping and selling her to profit from her earnings. Without warning, Hongyang picked up an expensive container and appeared ready to hand it over, only to deliberately let it slip from her fingers at the last second. Mao Mao instinctively tried to catch it but failed. The crash echoed sharply. Hongyang calmly explained that the item's value far exceeded a servant's monthly salary. Compensation would naturally be deducted from Mao Mao's wages, leaving nothing to send back home. Mao Mao understood the hidden meaning instantly. The head maid was protecting her in her own way. Instead of protesting, she accepted the arrangement silently. Yet moments later, Hongyang surprised her again by rewarding her separately for serving as food taster. The amount nearly matched an entire month's pay, effectively placing money directly into Mao Mao's hands instead of the pockets of those who controlled her contract. For the first time since arriving, Mao Mao sensed genuine kindness hidden beneath Hongyang's strict demeanor.
I only have my own room. If only there was a venomous snake or something I could use for experiments.
Mao Mao.
Lee? You requested me, Lady Gyokyo?
Actually, he did.
How come you're immune?
How may I serve you today?
I received these from a military officer earlier. Would you mind tasting them?
Balzu. There's an aphrodisiac baked in.
You can tell without eating one?
It's not like they're harmful or anything. You can try one if you'd like.
Considering the individual I received these from, that's simply out of the question.
Then again, there's always the possibility they might end up visiting you later tonight.
You knew, and by smell alone.
Did this creeper just try to make me eat one knowing they have an aphrodisiac in them?
Since you're here, I have another question for you.
Yes, what is it?
A squad of soldiers were out on a mission to attack some barbarians the other day and wound up being poisoned.
Really?
Several fell ill after a meal. They reported feeling nauseous, difficulty breathing, as well as other ailments.
Those do sound like the symptoms of some form of poison.
The meal was prepared in a nearby village. They arrested the village leader for assisting the barbarians, but an officer defused the situation and has put the decision on hold.
On the surface, it's perfectly natural to jump to the conclusion of the villagers poisoning the soldiers' food, and yet... Master Jinshi, do you mind telling me where they were eating?
At camp, so they were likely outside.
And the villagers, did they supply the plates and chopsticks?
No need. The soldiers were provided their own dishware and utensils. Did you notice something?
While it's only my opinion, I think it's worth sharing with you. This flower is called a rhododendron.
The following days quickly became frustrating. Whenever Mao Mao attempted to help with chores, the other maids stopped her immediately. They insisted everything was already handled. With no work to occupy her, boredom began gnawing at her mind. She wandered restlessly through the pavilion wishing for something interesting: venomous snakes, rare mushrooms, unusual herbs, anything capable of stimulating her curiosity. The only moments she became useful were during meal testing. Ironically, she started worrying she might gain weight from constantly eating rich palace cuisine without doing any labor to balance it out. One afternoon, Jinshi appeared carrying several buns gifted to him by a military officer. With casual curiosity, he asked Mao Mao to inspect them. She barely needed a moment. One sniff was enough. There was an aphrodisiac mixed into the filling. Mao Mao warned him matter-of-factly that the sender might attempt a late-night visit after ensuring he consumed them. Jinshi's eyes narrowed with fascination at how easily she identified the substance. Meanwhile, Mao Mao suddenly realized with growing horror that he had knowingly considered having her test them first. A cold sweat crept down her back. Jinshi soon returned to the earlier case involving the poisoned soldiers. He described the symptoms once more and explained how suspicion continued falling upon the villagers who supplied food to the expedition. Though the village chief remained imprisoned due to alleged foreign connections, one soldier had argued against punishing the villagers prematurely. Mao Mao listened carefully. Then she began asking questions. Where had the soldiers eaten? Outdoors. What utensils had they used? Their own equipment. Had they cooked over open fire? Yes. Mao Mao silently reached toward a nearby rhododendron flower growing beside the path. Holding it up, she explained that certain varieties contained toxins capable of producing the exact symptoms described in the report. Depending on the species, poison could exist in the leaves, roots, stems, or even the smoke released when burned. If branches...
Does it taste good?
No, eating them actually causes nausea and difficulty with breathing.
Whoa!
Even in the rear palace, there are some plants used for decoration with poison in them. This one is in the leaves and petals, but some can be found in branches or roots. There are even instances of wood emitting toxic fumes when it's burned.
Like in a fire.
So that's the cause.
It was fortunate the officer chose to remain calm. Otherwise, we could have ended up losing a whole village.
True.
If there's nothing else, I shall take my leave.
No, not yet.
What is it now?
How are you at making aphrodisiacs?
Huh? Wait, making drugs?
It's only one of my greatest passions!
With adequate time, ingredients, and the proper tools, I'm confident I can make something like that.
Master Jinshi, where are you headed?
You caught me returning to my office. May I help you?
I was wondering if you'd join me for tea in my room.
Unfortunately, my work is a very demanding mistress. Some other time.
It appears the servants haven't been made aware yet. Not only is Master Jinshi here to ensure there's peace, but to test their loyalties.
Even if the Emperor does not visit her, luring other men to her room is an indiscretion we cannot abide.
Most assuredly.
It's not enough for a concubine to simply be beautiful or well-educated. They must be faithful to the Emperor, as well as remaining chaste.
But to place you in the rear palace, and using your beauty as a means to test their true character. Our Emperor can be quite cunning.
We all use whatever we're given. As for her, not only is she not attracted to me, but that expression she made.
From the plant had accidentally entered the firewood supply. The fumes alone could have contaminated the food. The explanation fit perfectly. Jinshi immediately grasped the implication. The villagers were likely innocent after all. What appeared to be deliberate poisoning may have been nothing more than an environmental accident caused by toxic plants growing nearby. Relief quietly settled over Ma Mao. Innocent people might avoid punishment thanks to a single soldier willing to question the obvious conclusion. Then, almost casually, Jinshi asked another question. Could she make an aphrodisiac herself? The transformation in Ma Mao happened instantly. Her eyes lit up with excitement so intense it almost frightened the people around her. The possibility of experimenting with rare ingredients and specialized mixtures thrilled her beyond reason. Given the proper materials, she confidently claimed she could create nearly anything. That evening, as Jinshi walked through the palace corridors, another consort attempted to invite him for tea. He declined smoothly, wielding his beauty and charm with devastating precision until the woman became too flustered to continue speaking coherently. As he walked away, disappointment lingered quietly inside him. Some consorts abandoned by the emperor sought comfort or attention elsewhere. To Jinshi, that behavior lacked dignity. Beauty alone meant nothing if a person possessed no self-restraint or pride. A consort's true worth lay not only in appearance or intelligence, but in maintaining composure despite loneliness. At the same time, Jinshi understood that many women in the inner palace suspected his hidden purpose. His role extended far beyond managing appearances. In subtle ways, he observed, evaluated, and tested loyalty on behalf of the emperor himself. Yet among all the women surrounding him, one person continued treating him with total indifference. Ma Mao looked at him not with admiration but irritation. And strangely, that only increased his fascination with her. For perhaps the first time in his life, someone remained entirely unaffected by him. Suddenly remembering
I've never had anyone look at me so harshly in my life.
On that note, I think I'll take my leave.
That person might visit you tonight.
I'm heading out now.
See you soon, and good luck.
Yes.
Beg your pardon. It's that quack doc, and...
You're Miss Mao Mao. We haven't met. My name is Gao Xuan. I serve as Master Jinshi's assistant. I'm pleased to make your acquaintance.
And likewise. It can't be easy assisting that guy.
She's a servant girl. Why does she get to set foot in my domain?
If you would step this way. I've been instructed to let you use anything in this room.
I assume this is a cursed dance taught to your people.
What a luxury, being able to use paper so freely. I'm also going to need...
I'll be one moment.
He picks up on things fast. Unlike his master. If you're not going to be helpful, go away.
Here.
Oh, thank you very much. That's not enough.
A kind of seed?
It's cacao.
If you require more, we'll simply have to find a source.
It comes from the west, the far southern region on top of all that.
I'm certain there's plenty more in the trading goods storage.
We have milk, butter, sugar...
Mao Mao's earlier warning about the buns, Jinshi immediately secured his room for the night. The next day, Gao Shen escorted Ma Mao to the medical office and granted her temporary access to its supplies. The moment she entered, excitement exploded across her face. Shelves lined with medicinal ingredients, tools, powders, preserved plants, it was paradise to her. To create the requested aphrodisiac, she required cacao seeds, though the palace possessed only a limited quantity. Jinshi arranged for additional supplies through merchants trading from the southern regions where the ingredient originated. When the materials finally arrived, Ma Mao worked enthusiastically for hours. Most ingredients were expensive and difficult to obtain, but she handled them with remarkable confidence. Once the aphrodisiac mixture was completed, She used leftover ingredients to prepare herself a simple meal. While waiting for the medicine to finish solidifying, she left it safely in the kitchen corner and wandered outside. Unfortunately, once Mao Mao discovered medicinal herbs growing nearby, the outside world ceased to exist. She became completely absorbed in gathering plants, examining roots, and identifying useful species hidden among the grass. Time slipped away unnoticed. When she finally returned, confusion greeted her immediately. A crowd had gathered outside the kitchen. Inside, Gai Yuan, Yinghua, and Ailin lay sprawled across the floor with flushed faces and unfocused eyes. Panic filled the room. Mao Mao hurried over and inspected them quickly before announcing that nothing serious had happened. The three maids had mistakenly eaten the meal she prepared earlier. The room froze. Mao Mao calmly clarified that the food they consumed was not the aphrodisiac itself. It had merely been her dinner, though certain leftover ingredients apparently caused stimulating side effects. The real aphrodisiac remained elsewhere entirely. Everyone listening broke into nervous sweat at the realization. Mao Mao casually added that people accustomed to alcohol or stimulants would probably resist the effect.
Honey and powdered cacao. That should be enough.
Those ingredients are expensive.
I wonder what she's planning on making.
A snack, hopefully.
And what are the three of you doing?
Get back to work before I lose my temper!
Now to actually make the aphrodisiac.
I tasted cacao just once in the past.
This is chocolate, Mao Mao. Now say, Mao Mao.
Some malicious customer wanted to get a courtesan's attention. All he got was banishment by the shrewd old lady. Looks good. And there. Now to let them cool and wait for the shells to harden. I didn't use all of it. I know. Yeah, these probably don't need to be cooled. Right, guess I should clean up now.
Medicinal herbs?
Come here.
Get over here! So many of them!
I got a bit carried away.
Apologies for being so late!
At the very least, we know they're effective.
What have you done to my girls?
No use worrying about it now. Oh good, they didn't go all the way.
So, these contain an aphrodisiac?
No. However, these do.
Then what are the other ones for?
A midnight snack for me. If you're used to alcohol and other stimulants, these won't have that much of an effect on you.
That's so. In that case, then, it shouldn't be much of a problem if I eat one.
More easily. Jinshi jokingly remarked that he would likely remain unaffected if he consumed it himself. Gaoshan and Hongyang immediately shut the idea down. Although Jinshi laughed it off, Mao Mao privately considered the joke inappropriate given Gyokuyu's nearby presence. Still, she admitted inwardly that if someone as beautiful as Jinshi ever did fall under the influence of such medicine, the results would probably be catastrophic for everyone around him. Men and women alike would likely lose their composure. Before ending the discussion, Mao Mao warned them carefully about dosage. Only a small amount should ever be consumed at once. Excessive intake could trigger dangerous increases in blood pressure or severe nosebleeds. Gyokuyu listened with growing curiosity and jokingly wondered what effect the medicine might have on the emperor himself. Mao Mao casually responded that her version was roughly 3 times stronger than common tonics. The consort nearly choked from shock. Once the commotion finally settled, Gyokuyu departed with lingering amusement still visible in her eyes. The room gradually emptied until only silence remained. Then Jinshi quietly approached Mao Mao from behind. Without warning, he reached toward her hair, his fingers brushing lightly through the strands before leaning close enough for his breath to graze her neck. The movement was gentle, intimate, and entirely deliberate. He thanked her softly. Then he walked away without another word. Mao Mao remained frozen for several moments after he disappeared down the corridor. Slowly, pieces of the palace's hidden tensions began fitting together inside her mind. Behind the smiles, behind the perfumes and silk robes, invisible games were unfolding constantly. Every gesture carried meaning. Every favor created debt. Every mistake could become fatal. And somewhere within those elegant walls, people continued moving others like pieces on a board no one fully understood. As Mao Mao stood there in silence, a quiet hope formed inside her. She hoped no one else would become the next casualty of the palace's unseen battles.
Sorry, but I beg to differ!
It was a joke.
Yeah, a reprehensible one in front of the Emperor's concubine. But if he were to come on to someone, blushing and with those looks, it's over. I'm sure it would be enough to captivate anyone, male or female. Blessed and cursed with beauty. It's quite strong, so best to limit intake to one piece at a time. Too many could cause a massive increase in blood flow and result in nosebleeds.
Perhaps you could make a batch of those for the Emperor while you're at it, to keep things lively.
It should be around 3 times more potent than the usual tonic.
3 really? Maybe I should stick with the tonic then.
I'm not sure I want to know more. And on a final note, I strongly recommend only using it when you're alone with the intended partner.
I see.
I'll take my leave, but this has been most informative.
So the new girl is capable of making drugs.
What a beneficial skill.
Glad that's finally over.
You've done quite well, Apothecary. I'm grateful.
The little thief. Well, just as long as nobody gets hurt.
Next time, the unsettling matter of the spirit.
Alright, everyone, that is for today's reaction on Anime Sensei Reaction. Thank you for so much for watching and spending your time with me. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notification so you won't miss any you won't miss the next reaction. Let me know your true favorite moment and break it down in the comment, because I always love reading what you guys think. We still have a lot of amazing anime moments, crazy battle, emotional scene, and unexpected treat coming soon on the channel. I truly appreciate all the support, and I can't wait to watch more anime together with you all. Take care everyone, and I will see you in the next reaction video.